Okay, genuine question. Who gave Adam my OnlyFans? Not only am I dealing with a murderous pop star, but I gotta deal with one that goons to me too? Not cool, guys. Not cool at all.
Chapter 2. Blank 1:43 a.m. Adam only requires a cheap lockpicking kit bought off of Amazon to break into your apartment. A weak defense, all things considered. Did you really think this will keep him out? It's almost too easy, the way he steps inside, pausing next to a coat rack to allow his eyes time to adjust in the darkness. He scans your room, observing your ratty couch and cheap coffee table that you keep propped up on one side by using a few hardcover books to keep it level after what the legs got broken off. He wonders briefly if you started a sewing project of sorts when his eyes catch on something far more interesting. It's your bedroom door, left ajar. He slips out of his boots and places them next to yours. Like a husband returning home from work, preparing to join his spouse in bed. It's almost too intimate in a way. He hates the feeling it gives him. But he needs to stay quiet, and wearing large clunky boots would reveal his presence. He wants to surprise you with his bulge! To catch you off guard with his cock! Like how you managed to catch him off guard with that kiss on the highway. It's definitely his bulge. He's definitely gonna surprise us with his massive dong. He'll never forgive you for it. Only the thrill of the hunt manages to subdue any of his base desires, snuffling out his impure thoughts that might overwhelm him, like they did the first time you kissed. It makes him feel vulnerable, defenseless even. The last time he allowed himself to feel this defenseless, his entire world was torn out from beneath him. But never again. You're just a forbidden fruit that almost tricked him into taking a bite. Ironic. Adam whispers under his breath, wanting to laugh at how his name suits him. Did his father know? Did he believe he'd grow up and become just like him? Do what's right. A broken voice whispers with a hiss from the darkness that almost sounds like static. Don't follow the same path. Her words encourage him to move forward with determined footsteps. I tried my best to protect you from him. She steals his resolve. He's going to kill the one who tainted him and become pure again. You're a roadblock, a parasite, and one that he's meant to overcome. Adam positions himself in front of the door, wondering what awaits him. Are you planning something? Or are you really naive enough to think you'd be safe after you escaped the first time? Surely you're prepared for me, aren't you? His melodic voice carries into your bedroom, but garners no response. Do you have a gun aimed at my head? A bat next to your nightstand? Or did you call the cops? Again, no answer. Now's your chance. Kill me before I kill you. He's taunting you. Probably because of the way memories of that kiss taunts him. Still, you don't play into his games. He grows tired of waiting. It's now or never. Adam draws out the knife tucked into the waistband of his jeans. You know, you'd think that he'd go for a different weapon at this point. Your blade from the other day still coats the silver blade, the color transformed into a deep reddish brown because he can't bring himself to wash it until he uses it to take your life. Could you have at least washed it? Like, I'm fine with you using the same knife, but you prodded me with it at least once, okay? Like, clean your equipment before you stab me with it again, please. The single action, the taking of your life with his blade, will bring everything full circle. At last, he'll be free. Adam notices a small bed tucked into the corner of the bedroom, the light from a nearby window, with the blinds lifted, allowing moonlight to spill through and illuminate the mass of blankets where you potentially lie. They shift, a surefire sign that you or someone else is there. Adam approaches the bed and, without hesitation, He rips the blanket off of your body, letting it fall to the floor. And I pounce on him, right? I pounce on him! You startle awake, your eyes latching onto his, your expression dazed and confused by the sudden force to which you are awakened with, earning yourself a cruel smile from Adam. Okay, the fact that he's doing this to me while I was asleep, the fact that he just ripped the blanket open, means that Adam is looking at me like fully in the nude. I don't sleep with anything on. So like Adam is just looking at me, my balls on the blankets, and like it's gonna be really awkward if he finds out that I'm just bricked up from all this. How did you not know he'd come here? That your escape wouldn't save you from him? You really are naive. You thought you were smarter than this, and it's insulting that you managed to escape him, acting this freaking stupid. How could someone like this? You sit up, and what remains of the other blanket pulls around your waist. Adam jerks back with a start, dropping his knife in the process as he's caught off guard by your exposed body. Before, so I really am nude under all this. Oh no, Adam! Adam! I don't think you were prepared for this. Get over here, sweet cheeks. Before he can move away or even collect himself, you grab his wrists and tug him forward. Oh no, it's happening. The two of you fall onto the bed with Adam on top and you sprawl beneath him, your eyes half lit and your lips parted like you're trying to seduce him again. And god damn it, it's working! Yet, while knowing this, he still can't help but let you drown him in the blood red of your lust. In the middle of your heat exchange, you stare down at him, a deity perched over their loyal throne. He shudders under your gaze, vulnerable and slick with sweat. Oh, I'ma give him plenty of slick. He's breathless as he asks, why did you stop? 'Cause I'm curious. Your body shifts and he grits his teeth, holding back a soft whimper. He's whimpering, his hands going to your hips as if holding you will ground him. A smirk tugs at the corners of your lips. You like this, baby boy? Do you like what I'm doing to you? Adam nods. Yes. Oh, God, yes! He's never felt so good in his goddamn life. Adam swallows thickly, eyelashes fluttering, unable to concentrate but forcing himself to pay attention to your next words. Do you want me? Adam answers before he can even think about what he's saying. Yes. Oh, how much do you want me? More than anything. One last question. Finally. Do you still want to kill me? Adam stares up at you. Yeah, of course he does. Killing you means he's done with his job and can sleep peacefully at night knowing you'll no longer hurt the people around you. He opens his mouth, then closes it. Yeah. Oh, just say yes. He tries again and fails miserably. You continue staring at him, patient while you wait for your answer, your body still hovering over his. Oh, so he's a bottom. Maybe he just doesn't want you to stop. Is that it? Like he's afraid you'll stop making him feel good for giving what's obviously the wrong answer? But, nah, that's not it either. As soon as you touched him, the burning still exists within him. That's a fact. It always will. But the burning transformed into something else. Something that ignites whenever you touch his skin. I don't know. The mattress begins to sink inward under Adam's weight, cutting him off. He doesn't even have time to process what's happening before the bed swallows him whole and leaves him in suffocating darkness. He tries crawling around him, but he's immobilized, almost like a sleep paralysis demon is holding him down and keeping him locked in place with no escape. Can you imagine how terrifying that would be to have me as your sleep paralysis demon? Like,
What would that even be like? I don't know what your impression of me is just yet. But what would sleep paralysis demon lion be like? I need to know. Let me know in the comments.
Hair finally touches his back. And then he's falling and hitting solid ground, his back's hitting soft tile. Managing to pick himself up from where he crash landed, he finds himself struck in the middle of an all too familiar kitchen and spotting his old Sunday best. He catches sight of his reflection in a nearby window. His hair is brown again, untouched by his purple dye and his scar. His hand gently grazes his eyebrow. It's gone. Adam studies the room, turning in a slow, horrified circle. From the aging rose wallpaper to the collection of magnets used to pin up a child's colorful drawings on the fridge, Adam knows exactly where he stands. A soft dripping sound catches his attention. His eyes drift over to the source, off to his left, where a small square kitchen table sits flanked by 3 wooden chairs. Each chair is given a hand-stitched cushion to soften the otherwise uncomfortable seating arrangement, a few of them dusted with what looks like stray flower petals. His heart lodges in his throat, his hands clenched at his sides as he gets closer and sees the familiar flowers practically overflowing off of the table, his shoes crushing one underfoot. His voice comes out choked as he picks up one by the stem. White aster flowers. There's flecks of red dotting the petals, like someone splattered them with paint. He used to collect them as a kid. They grew right behind his house, in a wide open field where he liked to roam when his father wasn't home, the floral scent carried by the wind. He remembers carrying fistfuls home before handing them over to the person who was his entire world back then, watching as her lingering sadness washed away as she places them inside of a milk jar, since they couldn't afford proper vases. And the smile that she gave him meant everything to him. He whispers her name before crying out as his fingers start to burn and he drops the flower. He examines his burnt hand, finding red welts on his fingers before peering down at the flower. The petals blacken as if set on fire, but he doesn't see any flames as he watches it die and crumble into ash, realizing that the ones still on the kitchen table are doing the same. There's nothing left of the aster flowers, only a single piece of parchment paper remains. He takes a reflexive step back. He recognizes the handwriting, the looping script almost mocking him. It's then that he sees something fall from the ceiling. A small droplet. It splatters against a piece of paper on impact, red bleeding through the page. Drip, drip, drip. His blood runs cold as he finally realizes this is the source of the noise he heard earlier. If this place is what he thinks it is, then above him. He can't bring himself to look up, the fresh scent of copper flooding his senses, knowing the smell by heart after all the slaughters he's done. Normally he'd thrive off the smell, but this. His legs give out, and he digs his palms into his eyes so hard that he sees stars in the darkness. He can't look up. He refuses to acknowledge it. Someone hums next to his ear, and he flinches away, refusing to drop his hands, but the person persists. You don't want to face me. When he refuses to answer, the humming switches to his other ear, and then the singer asks a second question. Can't you even look to see how deeply you've hurt me? Clawed fingers try dragging his hands away from his eyes. Sharp nails dig into his wrists, biting as they force him to finally drop his hands and look at the owner of the voice. A cold, dead corpse stares at him with bloodshot eyes, the whites glazed over by a grayish film. Her skin is sickly in color and slightly bloated, a bubbling red foam spilling from her parted lips as she cocks her head at an unnatural angle, her wet, clumped hair tickling Adam's face. The dripping sound is closer now, and he realizes it's because the cotton dress clinging to her rail-thin frame is completely soaked through, water dripping onto the floor and soaking through the fabric of his slacks. Adam whispers her name with guilt in his heart and terror stained on his soul.
Oh my god!
The single action enrages her as her lips heal back into a shriek that shatters the windows and milk glasses used as vases lining the windowsill. Don't call me that! Don't ever call me that again! You betrayed me. You promised me! She says with a gurgling hiss, like she's trying to speak with lungs filled with water. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean it. Look at what he did to me. Look what they did to me. Look at it! Helpless tears stream down Adam's cheeks as she jerks his face closer to a bruised one. Purple and yellow spots dot the base of her jaw and trail down the slope of her neck, disappearing underneath the torn gown she wears. I'm sorry. He's dragged to his feet by the woman with her hands clamped around his throat, lifting him partially off the ground despite their differences in height and weight. Her arm remains steady as a steel beam. She tightens her grip, and Adam remains limp, knowing this is the punishment he deserves for wavering, for betraying her and the vow he made all those years ago. I'm so... She snaps his neck with a sickening twist. Current day. Dower Hotel, 5:01 a.m. Adam catapults out of his nightmare, trembling as his eyes dart around the room. The shadows are his inner demons personified, waiting to devour him. They hide behind the TV screen, under the bed, in his closet. He can't escape them, no matter how hard he tries. Shit. It's just a dream. He needs to calm down. Adam tries thinking about his previous hunts, the thrill of the chase, capturing those deserving of the judgment cast down upon them and tearing into their flesh, ripping through bone and sinew, before watching as their pathetic life fades by his own hand. He feels his muscles easing up, right until he closes his eyes, and a vision of the corpse from his dreams makes him tense up. His eyes snap open, and he can't calm down. Her words are violence in his ears. You promised me. Look at what he did to me. What they did to me. He rips the hotel blankets off his lap before pacing around the quiet of his hotel room. In the bed opposite to him, the figure of his other bandmate, King, sleeps soundly underneath a pile of blankets and amongst a swamp of pillows. At least he's not up to freaking pester him about his pacing or try to lull him into a freaking discussion about his feelings. That's the last thing he needs right now. He doesn't want his or anyone else's pity. And he definitely doesn't want them to see how rattled he feels from that dream, no doubt brought on because of you. And thinking about you. He grabs a hold of it, stopping in his tracks as the way his body transitions from fear into pure rage. Blood red as the lust you tried to drown him in. Yes, anger is better than fear. So he directs all of his attention towards you. Whatever this feeling is, it's all your fault. Hey, you're welcome, baby boy. These feelings, the weird sexual fantasies burdening his dreams, are your fault, and they won't go away until you're permanently eradicated from this world. He needs to get to you. Now. There's only one glaring issue. After Adam got dropped off at the hotel, he asked Saffron to keep an eye on your apartment and pay attention to your comings and goings while he called all the hospitals in the area to check if you admitted yourself for that shoulder wound. He came up empty-handed. None of the hospitals had patients with your name. The most frustrating part? According to Saffron, you never came home last night. No one knows where you are. Oh, it's me! Or you! Park Bend, Arizona, 11:30 p.m. Conoco gas station. A bloody mess of gauze and medical tape you bought at the nearest convenience store clog up the unisex bathroom's trash can, covering up used pregnancy tests and sanitary napkins. Dark smudges circle your eyes from lack of proper sleep. The fact that your aunt will curl her lip at, chastising you for not getting your act together despite never holding herself to the same standards. Always a supportive woman, that one. If she'd taken the guns herself, maybe you could worry more about your next online show and figure out how to earn more subscriptions than avoiding your apartment like it got infested with cockroaches. But make it a singular cockroach. With a knife. You stare at yourself in the bathroom mirror, fighting the exhaustion rooted in your bones, tooth and nail gripping the edges of the sink to even remain upright. A feet in and off itself. Your shoulder, well taken care of for the time being, likely requires stitches instead of the medical equivalent of flex tape. But who the hell can afford medical insurance in this day and age? Not you, that's who. Damn it all to hell. After circling Partman for half an hour and weighing your options between returning home or straight up sleeping in your car, you decided on the latter as the safer bet. You don't really want to risk it for the biscuit by returning home, considering there's the possibility of Adam showing up. The attack itself would have been a one-off incident for a thirsty serial killer hell-bent on getting some kind of action. But if that's the case, what did he take a picture for? And now, how did he know your name? Maybe you're overthinking this. After all, he could be saving them for himself as a sort of memento of the occasion. You really can't be sure. And considering your adrenaline was so high, it's entirely possible you misheard him, mistaking him saying something else for saying your name instead. Maybe it would have been better if... Nah. You splash yourself with water stained a questionable color in order to park yourself up. Chin up, chest puffed. That's what your best friend Jay used to say before he moved out of state to pursue his dreams. You plan on taking his advice to heart until you exit the bathroom and meet the gaze of a kid who stares at you with wide-set eyes. He's in the middle of picking his nose and wiping it on his mom's sleeve. Ew! He never breaks eye contact. Upon seeing your grossed-out expression, he cackles like a hyena. Yep. He's gonna grow up to be a serial killer. You bet Adam did the same thing at that age. You'd put money on it even. The doorbell jingles as you step out of the air-conditioned gas station and onto the curb. The sudden wave of vertigo hits you like a truck, and you finally lose your ongoing battle with gravity, the world's colors bleeding together like a watercolor painting. An arm sweeps out to catch you. You bite back a hiss of pain and hide your wince as fingers press against your injured shoulder. The owner of the arm smells strongly of antiseptic, and it makes your already queasy stomach want to roll at the scent invading your nostrils. When you look up, soft green eyes paired with a gentleman's smile meet yours. Hi, Saffron! You're right, my dear. You look a little ill. Well, yeah! That's what happens when a crazed man attacks someone with minimal access. You know for a fact that Adam's probably off schmoozing in a fancy-dancy hospital that serves steak with shaved bits of gold sprinkled on top, while you're at Konaku gas station. How unfair is it when a criminal gets better care than their victim? To the gentleman wearing a crisp suit in 100-degree weather, you've seen weirder. You just nod and disentangle yourself from his hold. You sway a bit, but manage while he waits until you're stable enough to let go. I ate one too many pancakes at a pancake house down on West Avenue. Challenged my friend to a contest, but you should see the other guy. Oh? And what of your blood-stained shoulder? Your heart stops as your hand automatically goes to cover your shoulder. It stopped bleeding. How did it open up again? He cocks his head to the side. Let me give you a ride to the ER. I'm certain we can get them to patch you up in no time at all. Thanks for the offer, but I can't afford to fork over hundreds of dollars to just sit in a room, let alone get stitches. I appreciate your concern, but I'll manage on my own. Then how about this instead? I'm actually friends with the director of an ER who offers affordable payment plans. If I take you there, and I promise I could get your bill halved, what do you think? Damn, That's a tempting offer. But one question lingers in your mind. What's in it for you? He adjusts the cufflinks on his button-up. All I ask is for polite conversation and company on the way over. You provide me that, and I consider it an equal exchange. Does that sound like a fair deal?
Nope. Nope. Even back then, I was like, nope. I don't trust you. I don't trust you at all. No. Hell to the no. Last time you let your guard down, you got stabbed, made up with aforementioned stabby a-hole, and escaped by the skin of your teeth. You'll just take the name of the doctor and go.
Yeah, I'm good. Thanks. I appreciate the offer, though. The man nods and plucks a card from his breast pocket of his vest before extending 2 business cards to you. One belongs to the ER. Elijah Boone, MD. You pocket it and examine the second, which must belong to him. Collision Industries. Saffron Albrecht, music manager. Right, you've seen guys like this before, claiming they hold your ticket to fame only to con you out of your rent money. Not to mention he reeks of antiseptic. It really begs the question, why would a music manager smell like he just got out of a surgery at a hospital? I don't want to know. I don't want to know. Hermie, don't tell me. Chat, no, you're not allowed to tell me either. I almost called you Chat, but that would have been really weird. You try handing his card back to him, but he holds up his hands, which are peppered with splotches of your blood. Probably from catching you earlier. The man, or rather, Saffron, gives you an earnest smile. Feel free to call me in case you run into any trouble. Gotcha. Well, thanks again, buckaroo. I appreciate the help by any means. You listen out for footsteps as you walk towards your car. Nothing. And when you glance over your shoulder, he's tapping away at his phone, innocently texting someone or checking his social media or whatever. You're realizing you've become paranoid. Embarrassed by a slight overreaction to a possibly well-intentioned man, you climb into the driver's seat and start buckling your seatbelt when you feel eyes on you. As you lift your head, you find Saffron staring at you.
I don't like this music. I don't remember this the last time I played it. Maybe it was here before, but it's really unnerving.
And he's licking the speck of blood on his thumb with a bone-chilling smile.
Oh, not again! You're starting to think Iran's had the right idea with keeping at least one gun on hand. Too many creeps roaming Arizona as of late.
Oh, it's him! It's him! Park Bend, Arizona, 12 p.m. Dower Hotel. Adam scrubs a towel over his face, pushing back the purple strands of hair plastered on his forehead, his body dripping with sweat. His legs ache after walking quite a few miles on the treadmill in the hotel's gym. But at least he's not thinking about you. Until he's thinking about you.
Is he bricked up again?
He whips out his phone and checks his messages, desperate for something else to occupy his thoughts, but Saffron hasn't given an update in hours. Adam's mouth pulls into a tight line, wondering what's taking so long. Where the hell are you hiding? Don't you know he has connections everywhere? Eyes everywhere? You should just give up already. There's nowhere safe for you to run. You're his now. A fact you need to learn sooner than later. Because your alternative, it's so much worse. Blowing out a disgruntled breath of air, Adam folds himself into the plush recliner stationed in front of the widescreen TV. He's never cared much for extravagant things, despite people always offering them left and right. He was taught to never want them, to never accept anything beyond his means, something he holds on to this day. On screen, a news outlet discusses the devastation his fans are facing after Cake's latest concert got cancelled due to an unforeseen injury Adam received while hiking. Not an entire lie. Technically, he was hitchhiking and his latest target became more than he bargained for. A tidbit the general public will never know or learn of. Turning his attention back to his phone, he clicks on the message he received the other night from an unknown number that sits just below Saffron's. The same one he received on the bus. the one that tells him who to enact judgment upon. Your name pops up, alongside a list spitting out information about your personal life, including your place of residency, and a link to your job occupation. Adam swallows thickly, his thumb shaking as it hovers over the link. Okay, legit?
Who gave Adam my OnlyFans? Was it you? Did you send Adam my OnlyFans? I don't even have anything on my OnlyFans yet. I don't think I have an OnlyFans yet.
Or do I? You're never gonna find out. You're never gonna find out. He didn't care to know anymore about someone he'd wind up purging. What was the point in doing otherwise? All he needed to know was your basic information and how he could use it to create a trap to ensnare you in. The rest he saw no need for. He'd done the same thing countless of times before. And now, he's sitting here, wondering if he should have invested his time in getting to know you intimately so he could find your weakness and exploit it. It's the only reason he's debating on even clicking this link. Because now, it's necessary. There's no other ulterior motive outside of that. He's just trying to finish what he started on the highway. And this website of yours, with all the information it potentially holds, could provide him with something like that. Right? Adam's eyes dart up to your name before he can stop himself when he clicks the link. He's immediately brought to your page, which offers a short bio describing what you offer for your subscribers and a few key things to know about you and what you will and won't do for custom videos. His eyes wander over to your profile picture. The first thing he sees is your legs, then your thighs, and then... His eyes widen, and he whips his head towards the direction of the door, as if King will come bursting through at any moment. I think something else is bursting through right now. He's tomato freaking red when he goes back to his phone. It's obvious he's never been on one of these websites before, although he's heard of them mentioned in passing. Quite a few people even tried to start a petition for him to join, to which he declined and publicly stated his discomfort. Adam's never shown off anything more than his naked torso, and those were typically for photo shoots. Beneath the belt is, and has always been, out of the question. Collecting himself as best as he can, trying to steady his hand, he can't help but notice the thousands of people following your account. The fact that, for some reason, gets under his skin and eats away at him. He pushes away the feeling, trying to investigate with a clear mind rather than letting what he discovers feed any emotion. Still, these newfound feelings budding in his chest and coloring his world from black and white to something so vibrant makes them almost impossible to ignore. They become blinding when he notices the ratings listed at the top of the page. And there's a lot of them. All 5-star reviews. All salivating over the custom services you gave them. All interested in what lies underneath those clothes of yours. He wants to freaking throw up seeing their comments. Yet you aren't even bothered by the fact. Maybe you even like it. God damn you! Without thinking and too absorbed in his thoughts, he scrolls down and lands on your videos. He almost snaps his phone in half! The video he's landed on gives a small preview of what the contents contain, which is you arching your back as your legs slightly part while you model a very revealing cosplay. It's like you're mocking him with your eyes, taunting him with his newfound hunger by inviting him in with a seductive smile like you did in his dreams. He squirms in his seat as you lick your lips, unable to look away. Hot and slick and wet against his own. The fact that he knows what you taste like drives him crazy, like nothing else has before. Oh, God. His pants, despite the fact that they're jogger pants, just got a whole lot tighter. Adam slams his phone down onto the nightstand. He feels so perverted and disgusted with himself. Why did he do that? He should have looked. Because now he wants to scroll through your feed until he's seen every inch of your skin uncovered so he can devour you with his eyes and commit each detail to memory. Imagine if Adam became our #1 donor. I wouldn't put that past him. I really wouldn't. He's completely forgotten the initial purpose of him looking at your profile. He never located a weakness of yours, but without it, you exposed Adam's sole weakness yet again. Even the foreboding voice, hissing at him to leave this path that he's on, is drowned out by the roaring in his ears and the blood thumping between his legs. He closes his eyes, and there you are again, invading his thoughts, and his ass! A devil sent to taunt him. Adam grips the armrest of the chair so tight that his nails break because he's afraid if he moves even an inch, he's going to reach for his phone again and watch every single one of those videos and... Go on. Complete the sentence. His phone chimes once. Oh, Adam! You gotta stay focused, brother! A text. Adam risks picking up his phone, only look at the notification on the lock screen. Saffron's name appears. And the preview message is just 2 simple words. Found him. Oh, it's me! Park Bend, Arizona, 4 p.m. Blue Acres Trailer Park. You arrive at a rundown trailer park, pulling onto a dirt drive that leads to a selection of mobile homes clustered together as if gathered for a congregation. Wooden slats meant to serve offers a piss-poor attempt to separate them and provide some form of privacy for the local residents. A few people chatter in the middle of the road and ignore you, while you're forced to navigate around them. You almost take out a portion of the aforementioned fence, which garners a visceral reaction from one of the men standing in the middle of the road. He shouts profanities after you and whacks the bumper of your car with his steel-toed boot before he can drive away. A cute little welcome back to the neighborhood present, all in the form of a new dent. How lucky. You just can't wait to beg your aunt to stay. White knuckles grip the steering wheel. You follow the rocky road right up until you come across a double-wide trailer, painted tan with a slightly darker trim. The lawn is freshly trimmed. There's a lovely cactus garden growing, and that's not your stop. Nope. It's a teeny tiny trailer sitting next to the double-wide where looking angry flamingos dapple the lawn in splashes of neon pink, giving Adam a run for his money with those glares. Your new possible home. The teeny tiny trailer, not the double wide. Again, you're oh so lucky. You really should try your hand at the lottery. Putting your car into park right next to the potted plant that's browned and withered, you step out of the driver's seat and notice one of the blinds shifting as though someone bent out of it, only to quickly pull away. You head for the front door, actively avoiding the middle step of the porch, which remains unfixed after it caved in 2 years back. You raise your hand and knock, but it opens before you can. A hand darts out from the darkness and latches onto your wrist, causing memories of Adam doing the exact same thing to come flooding back in a rush of panic and fear. He can't be here. He can't. Before you can open your mouth to even scream, the hand yanks you inside, another clamping over your lips as the door clicks shut. Your pulse races as you think of how to escape your captor's hold. I am going to... I'm feeling a bit dramatic today. I'm feeling real dramatic. I'm gonna go limp. You allow your body to slump, catching your assailant off guard. They stumble as your body weight pulls them forward and you manage to twist and spin out of their grasp. They manage to catch themselves mid-fall. You squint in the darkness and recognize the silhouette. Feminine and definitely not Adam, unless of course we suddenly gender-bent him. Aunt Ruth? The hell was that for? Yep, it's your aunt, alright. I thought you were someone else. Who else would I be? No one else lives here, you stupid rat. At least not anymore. She turns towards the door and you hear the sound of the deadbolt lock into place, followed by 4 more clicks coming in rapid succession. When did she install those? There was only one the last time you checked. Did she go out and get them right after you dropped off the guns at your uncle's place? Andrew. Oh, shut it! Spittle flies from her lips as she shushes you, and your mouth clams shut with a resounding snap of your teeth. You watch as your aunt presses her ear against the door, quieting her breathing like she's afraid someone will overhear and come breaking down the front door. There's only two possible reasons for this. Either the problematic neighbors are drawing penises on her flamingos again, or something really sketchy is going on. No pun intended. When Rue finally pulls up away from the front door, she breathes a visible sigh of relief, full on pressing a hand against her chest and sending a prayer thanking God, as if you aren't standing there witnessing the whole debacle. Before you can comment on her erratic behavior, your aunt turns to you with her arms crossed over her chest, clucking her tongue. Now tell me why you're here. When you don't answer fast enough for her liking, she sneers. What? Did your uncle demand you take something else from me? Sorry to disappoint the two of you, but I have nothing left to give. I'm not here because of him. I'm here because my living situation has gotten a bit complicated, and I need a place to stay while I sort things out. Your aunt's eyes narrow. Or at least you imagine they do, considering you can't see due to the distinct lack of lighting. But you know your aunt's change in expression due to the disturbance in the air, a slight shift in the winds. Which begs the question, did she forget to pay the electric bill, or did she decide to make a sudden lifestyle change? You're all for dramatic lighting in the right circumstances, but no doubt someone's going to stub their pinky toe, and it's probably going to end up being you, considering how you keep getting new injuries as of late. Seriously, you're going to have to start naming them soon so you can keep track of each one and how you got it. So you're only visiting because you want something from me. Why am I not surprised? The comment irks you. Who were you delivering those guns for again? Certainly not yourself. Yes, your uncle made the request, but if she handled it herself, then you would have never made that road trip from hell. She benefited from you volunteering. The courts would have hounded her ass otherwise. You mentally shake your head. It's not like you want to room with her, but you've got nowhere else to go. Not when you discovered your worst fear a couple of hours earlier. Is it Oh, it's still me. I thought it's him. It's me. Park Bend, Arizona, 3 p.m., aka 1 hour earlier. Briar's Bar. After repairing your shoulder and taking a quick power nap in the front seat of your car, you find yourself sandwiched between booths at Briar's Bar and Grill, nursing a glass of water with an empty plate in front of you. You were drawn in by the warm smells and advertisement of cheap food. Searching your car for pocket change, you managed to scrounge up just enough in order to get something decent and moderately filling. The way your jaw unhinged when you dug into your meal kinda scared the waiter off. He hasn't asked to refill your glass, and every time you glance over at him, he looks a little pale, opting to converse with his other patrons instead. Not that you mind. As long as you're allowed to loiter while you come up with a plan, you don't mind the lack of service. Besides, after running into Adam and Saffron, conversing with normal people proves difficult. You struggle a bit, which is why your inner circle of friends remains few and far between. And now everyone is a potential threat, and in order to survive, you need to approach things carefully. This includes interacting with strangers. What you need is a friend or family member you can trust. Someone who can help you while you try to decide if you're going to keep your apartment or skip town. A temporary place of refuge. You make a mental list of potential prospects, crossing out those who live out of state or those whom you've lost contact with, eliminating almost everyone in the process. All except for one. Aunt Ruth comes to mind due to her sheer proximity and availability, rather than the level of trust you share with her. But she's your best bet. Maybe the name thing was a fluke and you somehow forgot you mentioned it during your exchange. There's bits and pieces, and you're already blanking on them due to the high intensity of the encounter. Your mind no doubt tried to protect itself from the horrors that occurred. Maybe it was just a coincidence. Maybe. A drunken shout draws your attention towards the front of the bar, where an older gentleman waves a busted TV remote in the air. Batteries! Get me some batteries! Gonna miss a big game because of this bullshit! His words slur together in a tangled mess. But the bartender ignores him. The man leans across the counter and tries to yank the man's pants in order to grab his attention. Is he just grabbing his attention, or is he grabbing something else? The bartender shakes his head with a sigh as he cleans a glass with a white dish towel and simply steps away. We've been over this, Jamie. Please don't make me call the police on you again. The drunk man, Jamie, as the bartender calls him, slumps back into his seat and grumbles as he chucks the remote onto the bar. He folds his arms over his chest like a spoiled child who just got told he couldn't have dessert before dinner. Your eyes glide up towards the TV to see what channel the TV's stuck on when your entire body goes rigid. Adam. Hi there, pretty boy. On screen, the camera captures close-up shots of Adam, from the signature purple hair down to his iconic earrings, before finally landing on his face. He beams at the camera with the same exact smile he wore moments before he plunged the knife into your shoulder. The wolf in sheep's clothing. He really knows how to blend in, huh? Your nails dig into the meat of your thigh, wishing you could expose his true identity when the camera switches over to the interviewer, who already wears a smile of his own. She introduces herself as Lawrence de Tavano and exudes practiced confidence that one can develop after years of working with A-list celebrities. Today we are here with Adam Godin, composer and lead vocalist of Cake. She turns to him and strains a stack of laminated cards on her knees. Now Adam, I heard about the accident and wanted to make sure you can handle doing this interview. Don't worry about rescheduling, and just be honest with me, how are you feeling? Your stomach plummets at the mention of an accident. An interview from today. Sure enough, there's a slight bulge underneath his shirt, right above his hip bone. Clear-cut evidence he made his way off the highway with the scars to prove it. Part of you wishes he'd bled out on the asphalt, but you knew the blade didn't go deep enough to cause irreversible damage. You meant to maim, not kill, unlike a certain someone. And now here that certain someone is, continuing on with his life while you're loitering at an 18 and up bar out of fear. What complete and utter bullshit. I'm great, Lawrence, and happy to be here. My injury was pretty shallow, and we're just taking extra precautions to ensure my recovery goes smoothly. I'll be up and running again in no time at all. He turns towards the camera, and you tense on reflex. It's as if he's looking straight at you, with those sharp, introspective eyes. The smile he gives the camera comes slow and mocking. After all, you can't get rid of me that easily. Lawrence gives a good-natured laugh, but the hairs on the back of her neck stand on end. To anyone else, he's a man determined to get back on his feet, but you know the comment was made for you. It's a small way of saying he's not letting you go. Not by a long shot. You stare at the melting ice in your glass, trying to control your breathing as the interviewer presses a hand over her heart. I think I can speak for most of us when I say we're happy to hear that you have such a wonderful support system taking care of you. Now, you mentioned a while back that you and the members of Cake are pretty close. I assume they are part of your support system? Of course. They're like my brothers. They're my family. Same goes for my manager. Oh? Then, does he tell his found family about his cute hobby of disemboweling people? Did they go on brotherly bonding expeditions and laugh in the faces of their victims? Are all the members of Cake just as messed up as their leader? Or a better question yet, are they all looking for you? The proverbial lamb who managed to escape the slaughter. You want to scream in his face to leave you the hell alone because you want no part of this. You just want things to go back to normal. Or at least as normal as they were before you agreed to helping out your aunt. Force yourself to calm down by pinching the bridge of your nose as you hear the soft coos of the audience, reminding yourself that he has no idea of your current location. You can't let him get the best of you. You'll get through this. And besides, what are the odds that the rest of his band members know and participate in what he does? The chances are slim, minuscule, microscopic. You're okay. You're safe. He's probably the only person looking for you right now, and he's busy and live on TV. You're fine. You glare back up at the screen with newfound determination, and Lauren smiles, her severe features softened by the expression. I can tell you and... I'm sorry, what was your manager's name again? Saffron. Adam leans back in his seat, crossing one leg over the other, wearing the most radiant smile as he looks at the camera. Saffron Albrecht. Your heart lodges in your throat. You can't breathe. The panic comes back in full force, pinning you to the booth. Your hands shake as you stare up at the screen with parted lips. No. He did not just say Saffron. Not the same Saffron you ran into hours earlier. There's no way he found you that easily. But your gut gnaws at you, knowing that you're in a heavy state of denial. And now Saffron's card burns a hole through your pocket. Unable to ignore the facts any longer, you withdraw your wallet from your pocket with shaking fingers and pluck out the business card given to you hours earlier. Sure enough, embossed in white ink, Saffron's full name stares back at you. Saffron Albrecht. Saffron Albrecht, who works with Adam's band. Saffron Albrecht, who licked your blood off his fingers like it was gamer girl bathwater? The same man who ran into you at the gas station, which is only a 10-minute drive from here. That, Saffron Albrecht. He knows what your car looks like. He saw your license plate numbers. He watched as you drove away and which direction you headed in. You thought it was odd he didn't follow you. You were prepared for that because you thought he was just another creep. But now, you stand up so sharply, you almost knock over your table as you frantically scramble out of your booth, completely forgetting your inner monologue about remaining calm, because now you're all too aware that Adam now can easily deduce where you're at. Oh, this is bad. Really bad. There is no doubt that your meeting with Saffron wasn't just a big coincidence. He was probably patrolling the entire area, looking for you, and bada bing, bada boom, he found you within 24 hours. You can only surmise one reason he didn't come after you. It's because he's saving you for Adam. And once Adam finds out what area you've hidden yourself in, he's going to come for you. And not the sexy kind of come either. You need to leave and get to your aunts. Now! You almost steamroll past the waiter carrying a large platter and apologize over your shoulder as you hurry out the front doors. A voice calls out to you when you're halfway through the parking lot, but you ignore it, all too preoccupied with getting the hell out of Dodge. The bartender who called after you frantically waves his arms over his head, trying to catch up. You rev the engine and peel out the parking lot, not even paying attention to the waiter or what he holds in his hands. There goes my wallet! Well, it's 4 p.m. now at Park Bend, Arizona, Blue Acres Trailer Park. Current time. Go home. I'm not here to run a charity case. Ed Roof's harsh words snap you out of your flashback. They're clipped, leaving zero room for debate as she rifles through a nearby cupboard. There's a bunch of liquor inside. Vodka, rum, moonshine even. How much ethanol content does that stuff contain again? You're not sure you want to know. A good portion of them are half-drained. Your aunt scratches her head, muttering to herself. When she notices you watching, she slams the cupboard shut, her weathered lips peeling back in annoyance. Go on, leave! Already told you you're not welcome here. No kid! From the set of her jaw to the outward jut of her hip, you can tell she's 2.2 seconds from going off. She's a stubborn woman with a sudden grit and a nasty attitude to boot. But if there's one thing you know about her, it's her weakness for free manual labor. The entire reason she claimed to have married your uncle was because he took over the housework and paid the bills. A bona fide user, but you need to barter with her for a safe place to stay. Your eyes drift towards the sink, clustered with grimy dishes and cups filled with souring milk. They tower like a fragile stack of cards ready to blow. You pick up a fork with dried flecks of something on the tines and wave it around. It'll take care of any and all chores if you let me stay. Her lips twist like she just sucked on a moldy lemon. But her jaw loosens as she considers your offer and her initial stubbornness recedes. And grocery runs? Done and done. She hesitates, but clearly it's just for show because she wants you to think she's doing you the world's biggest favor. Fine, she says at last. But if you slack off, I'll boot your ass out back where little old Laverne sleeps. Laverne's a cactus. She's talking about a cactus. Won't be a problem. Aunt Ruth glances at her cabinet filled with the devil's juice, a code name she and your uncle called their liquor in front of you when you were a kid. What the few memories that you can recall is of when you asked for some at the tender age of 9. Your uncle gave you grape juice instead to create the same coloring as the wine your aunt used to drink before she switched to harder liquor. Then your aunt threw a fit after she found out he gave you the last cup. Her temper tantrum lasted 4 days. Yeah, an adult woman rampaging about juice, it's not that far-fetched. I mean, yeah, that seems to just be a thing that people do sometimes. There's a reason your uncle's your favorite relative despite not being blood-related to you. Aunt Ruth opens the cupboard once more. While she's busy, you replace your fork with a sharp knife and hide it in your pants despite the fact that it's dirty. Better to be prepared if you're going out again. So make yourself useful and get me a carton of orange juice for my vodka and 3 scratch tickets, the $5 ones. She locates her purse and hands you 2 crumpled $20 bills. If there's anything left over, get some paper plates and plastic cups while you're at it. You got it! You're about to reach for the door, but quick as a whip, she's already ahead of you and unlatching all the locks. You don't even have time to blink as you're ushered outside and tossed onto the shoddy front porch, blinking as the door slams behind you, followed by locks snapping into places. You look at the money in your hands and reach for your back pocket where your wallet should be. Only, it's not there. You search your car next, underneath your seats, in the center console, as well as the glove compartment box. Not there either. Then you remember the waiter calling after you, trying to draw your attention. Now you understand why. You left your wallet at the bar. Yeah, shit. Oh, it's him. It's 5:10 p.m. at Park Bend, Arizona at Briar's Bar. Adam enters Briar's Bar and Grill with slumped shoulders and the aura of a man who just lost everything. He pulls his baseball cap down to shield his eyes as he takes a seat at the bar before waving the bartender over. What can I get you? Adam makes sure his voice cracks a little around the edges as he answers. Bourbon on the rocks, please. He lets out a pathetic sniff while the bartender pulls out a glass. He works with practiced efficiency, but Adam can sense the man's growing curiosity and concern over his behavior by certain cues in his body language. Like the way the bartender chews at his lips as if he's debating on asking if Adam's alright. Or the way he places Adam's drink of choice in front of him, soft and polite, as if he's afraid of startling a deer. He's a natural empath, and one that can easily be exploited for information. Perfect. Is there anything else he can get you? Adam solemnly shakes his head. No, fine. Thank you, though. He keeps his voice soft and quiet as he rubs away the condensation on the lip of the glass. He forces himself to keep a straight face as the man shifts from foot to foot. It's almost too easy. Then, as predicted. Hey, you okay, man? Adam swallows thickly, and he can feel the man growing more and more worried. He's got his attention. This is perfect. Just, got a lot going on. I'm sorry. He sighs and pushes away the drink. Don't even feel like drinking this. I'm just a mess right now. The man hesitates, but puts Adam's bourbon off the side and braces his crossed arms against the countertop as he leans forward. Adam scrubs a hand down his face to hide a smirk. He really should try out for acting one of these days. He's too good at it. After he finds you and slits your pretty little throat, he'll bring up the idea to Saffron. Knowing Saffron and his desire for the band to reach grander heights, he's almost certain he'll agree. But first things first, he needs to weasel some information out of this guy. You can talk about it if you want. Now listen. Adam shakes his head, face still covered. It's so hard not to laugh. Why are these people so easy? He clears his throat of laughter, although the bartender will think otherwise. I don't want to bother you. I've already done enough today. No, it's okay. That's what bartenders are here for, yeah? He's so sweet and sincere, Adam could puke. But instead, Adam just lowers his hand and lets out a deep, shuddering breath. It's silly, but got into a fight with my significant other. Started off as a light argument. They were frustrated over something I said, and I Responded negatively because I didn't think it was that bad. Adam sniffs again. Then it spiraled from there and they ran out of the house. Spent hours looking for them, but don't know where they ran off to and they won't answer their phone. I'm scared they got hurt. The bartender grows solemn. Well, maybe I could keep an eye out and tell them you were looking for them. What do they look like? Adam whips out his phone and shows him a picture of you. It's one he grabbed off your social media and saved for this exact purpose, photoshopping the two of you together in order to feed into his story. The bartender takes Adam's phone and scratches the back of his head. Yeah, actually they were here a couple hours ago. Adam perks up. Really? And they're okay? They're not hurt? The man gives Adam his phone back. No, they seemed a bit jittery and left their wallet behind. He pats the back of his pocket for emphasis. I picked it up and tried calling after them, but it seemed like they were in a hurry. I'm keeping it on hand in case they come back looking for it. Adam looks down at your photo with fake fondness. I'm so glad. Thank you so much. Maybe they're still near here. Sorry I couldn't help more. Adam allows a few fake tears to slip from his eyes, and he rubs them away with a thumb and forefinger. As if on cue, the bartender rounds the counter and soothes Adam with a comforting pat on the back. A warm, comforting presence to some, but to Adam, it's annoying. Pathetic. Still, he's given him the perfect opportunity, and what kind of man would Adam be if he didn't take it? He stands up and hugs the bartender, who stiffens in surprise at the sudden gesture. Adam gives the man a hard squeeze around the shoulders, playing up his gratefulness in order to distract him from where his other hand travels. His fingertips brush the top of your wallet, and without hesitation, he slips it out and into his own back pocket. This happens within a matter of seconds. The bartender doesn't even notice, nor does anyone else. He's got what he wanted, plus more. Now it's time for him to leave before he overstays his welcome. He withdraws a decent-sized tip and places it on the counter. Thank you again. Really. Before the bartender can even respond, his eyes going wide at the amount of money, Adam's already out the door and heading back to his car. He inspects your wallet a few minutes later, away from prying eyes at the rest stop. Adam smirks to himself as he draws it out with relish. Who would have known you would have been this careless? For someone who's evaded him so long, you keep making mistake after mistake. It's really sad. He hums to himself, tapping the corner of your wallet to his lips while grinning. Damn. He wishes he could see the expression on your face when you return to the bar to find out someone was looking for you. You're smart enough to draw your own conclusions from this trail of breadcrumbs. He licks his lips, delighted at the pleasurable thought of you trembling in fear, like a lost little lamb cornered by the big, nasty wolf when the bartender tells you, will you die on the spot right then and there? Or will you wait for him to show his face first before succumbing to the realization that he's inescapable? He hopes it's the latter. Adam can't wait for the chance to finally break you. But he needs to find you in order to do so. He looks back down at your wallet and traces the far black leather with his thumb, noting the worn inside and distinct smell of you. It's almost too much, the way you flared his senses with your cloyingly sweet scent. So he breathes through his mouth and focuses on sorting instead. Adam gets a sense of who you are as he rifles through your reward cards, studies your driver's license, and counts each coin down to the last penny. He gleans superficial facts about you, things easy to spot, even without your wallet, and put them aside for a rainy day. Next are your crumpled up receipts. He scours through them. They range from small purchases to much larger grocery runs. None of them are relevant. He glosses through each one of them with learned efficiency until he lands on the last one. It belongs to a gas station that's quite out of the way from your residential area. The date is from yesterday, early in the morning, and quite a few hours before you pulled over to help him, thinking he was a hitchhiker. He doesn't know why you drove down that deserted highway. He never needed to ask why people did the things they did before he killed them, because they never escaped. Not until you. But these are the most important questions because they're possibly a clue to where you're hiding. For what reason did you go into the outskirts of Park Bend? And why do so before making what he assumed was a long trip? He searches the other receipts for possible answers, but there is none. Adam leans back in his seat, pondering over loose theories, none of which hold any merit. Then it hits him. You were visiting someone. Maybe a friend, or a relative, or a lover. Doesn't matter why you visited them, but the possibility that you did, as well as the possibility that you were hiding out at their place, could lead him back to you. It would explain the lack of receipts. And there's no other reason for you to visit, and the groceries would sit in a blistering hot car for hours, and he doubts you visited a restaurant. No, you visited someone. But who? That's a question he can't solve on his own, not without help. He flips open his phone and calls Saffron. I need you to do something for me. And it's me again. Hello! And Park Bend, Arizona, 4:10 p.m. Blue Acres Trailer Park. You sit outside in your idling car while beating yourself up for a solid 10 minutes. Mistakes were made. One piled on top of another, crushing you beneath their weight and crushing your ribs and lungs, making it almost impossible to catch your breath and remain calm. The biggest mistake being that you even pulled over in the first place. You should have just driven past them or called someone while you were driving off in your car or anything else that didn't require you pulling over and checking on Adam. You want to bang your head against the dashboard so hard till you pass out. Of course you left your wallet because of course everything that can go wrong will. You're so tired of this, of the games, of hiding, of panicking, of not knowing what to do. Adam should be the one who's afraid, not you. No, when he's the one who has everything left to lose while you have nothing. But he's after your life, and while it's shitty at times, you're kind of attached to it, and in order to keep it, you're going to have to avoid running into him at all costs. Going out once for a grocery run wouldn't be so bad if you could just order future stuff online. But losing your license and debit card means you'll have to wait. The last time you tried replacing your debit card, it got lost in the mail, and you were forced to wait 2 extra weeks. The delivery service sucks here. So more than likely, it's gonna happen the second time around. Which leaves you with 2 options. Either go back to the bar, risk running into Mr. Relentless, but minimize the need to go outside as frequently. Or hope the delivery guys don't fail you and risk going out to get groceries for the next few weeks. The choice is obvious. You have to return to the bar. You look at the cash your aunt handed you, wishing she used debit cards instead. But the woman refuses to expose herself to the online feds and works under the table. Everything comes either in crisp dollar bills or nothing at all. She always errs on the side of caution, but you're honestly wondering if you should take a few notes from her book, especially with Adam on your tail. But you at least have something you didn't last time. The sharp kitchen knife glints in the passenger seat. Sure, it's grimy, but you can at least defend yourself rather than being defenseless. You mentally prepare yourself to the drive over, ready to do whatever's necessary to protect yourself. Even if that means stooping to Adam's level. Oh, hi, Aunt Ruth. Hello? 5:10 p.m. Blue Acres Trailer Park. Ruth stands beside her bed, looking down at an old photograph from before she ever got married. The one where she's in front of her old church the day after her high school graduation. Here, she's younger, prettier, hopeful for the future. A sharp contrast to the woman reflected in the glass, her eyes tired from battling nightmares and skin wrinkled from age. How would her younger self feel, seeing her now? Probably ashamed and disgusted. She knows herself well enough to see that much. Back in those days, everything was sorted into neat little boxes, and everything that stood outside of it was a menace to society. And those ideals matched that of her friends perfectly. So much so that her mother used to tease the six of them about being a hive mind. She's also the one that took this photo, catching Ruth and her friends mid-laughter with their matching cotton dresses of alternating teals and pinks. How many years has it been since then? She's lost count. It's hard to keep track of months and days and years when they all bleed together in one monotonous heap. Her ex-husband was the reason she was able to keep track of time. And now he's gone, taking all of her precious guns with him. Did he know the real reason why she slept with a knife under her pillow and a revolver in her nightstand? Did he take them out of spite? Or is he really that thick-headed? She'll never know. Ruth places the photo back into her drawer for safekeeping and places the frame face down before slamming the drawer shut. She doesn't want anyone to lay eyes on her one treasure. The rest of the photographs she had got lost after she moved from state to state. Now it's all she has left of. A crash comes from her left, and Ruth screams before slapping her hands over her mouth. What was that? Her gaze skates over to the source of the crash, and she watches as a large hand grips the ledge of the window. Oh no! Oh no! Did they find her? The same person that got Alice and Grady? Yet, who else could it be? There's no one else who would do this. No one else she's feared for all these years. But how did they manage to find her? She's always been careful, never leaving too many traces of herself online and moving when she needed to. How are they here? Then it clicks. You must have brought him here. You stupid little... That's the crunch of boots shifting over gravel and a huff of breath as someone hauls himself up and through the kitchen window with a head full of dark blue hair. Ruth watches with horror as the figure drops to the floor with practiced ease before rising from the ground, like Lucifer himself rising from hell. The intruder rolls his shoulders as he surveys Ruth's trailer. Why do you still have the hat on? It's so nonchalant. Like he's used to getting away with this sort of thing without facing any repercussions. She's rooted in place, frozen as she stares at the man. Move! Her breathing comes in unsteady pants. She can't bring herself to even wiggle a pinky finger. She's so scared. Why is she so weak? She's always been so weak. Back then with her, and now with this man who poses a threat to her life. And oh God, help her. The man takes his time facing Ruth as he peels off his blue wig and cap, tossing them to the side with relish, massaging his scalp underneath with the tangled mess of purple hair with a groan. His cross earring glints into light, coming in from the broken window, capturing Ruth's full attention. Wait a minute. The cross earring. Why does he have that? She'd recognize that pendant from anywhere. But she hasn't seen it since she last walked out of Clarissa's house, and back then it wasn't an earring, but rather a pendant that belonged to a necklace. The same necklace she gave to Clarissa for her birthday so many years ago. She thought when the unfortunate news about Clarissa came out, she was still in possession of the necklace. But if that's the case, how did he get it? It's much better. The man gives another groan, and Ruth stiffens at the melodic nature of his voice, gooseflesh rising along her arm, at how eerily similar he sounds to the previous owner of the cross pendant, just a more masculine version of her. And those features. Ruth's hand flies to her mouth as she tries covering her shock. You're not who I'm looking for. His boots crunch over the broken glass as he covers the distance between them. Ruth attempts to slam her measly bedroom door shut and lock herself inside, but his arm shoots out and rips it back open, stepping inside and filling up the small space. She shrinks back. Please, don't hurt me! The intruder slowly lifts his arm so he can see the hilt of a blade tucked into the waistband of his jeans. The intruder slowly lifts his arm so she can see the hilt of a blade tucked into the waistband of his jeans. He smirks as she bumps into her nightstand in an effort to get further away, but having nowhere to go, reveling in the effect he has on her. He's sick. Twisted. Ruth's hand grazes her nightstand, her fingertips brushing against the handle of the drawer, and she tries inching it outward, using her body as a shield to hide what she's doing. What do you want from me? Don't you see I have nothing left to give? I'd beg to defer, but I'm not the begging sort. His eyes lazily drift over to where she's trying to slide open her nightstand drawer. What do you have in there? I don't... She yanks the drawer open, knowing she's out of time and has to move quickly, her hand touching metal before Adam grabs her wrist, forcing her to let go of the gun. Ruth shrieks as he towers over her. You're not supposed to play with guns. They're dangerous, you know, he says, flicking his free hand towards the revolver. And you wouldn't accidentally want to hurt a guest, would you? Ruth's bottom lip trembles, fighting back tears. She can't bring herself to answer, and the intruder rolls his eyes before they land on the picture hidden in her nightstand. Oh? What's this? He goes to touch her treasure, and Ruth's brain regains connectivity, grabbing at his arm before he can, her nails biting into the sleeve of his hoodie. Don't touch that! There's venom in her voice, surprising both her and the intruder. The man cracks an annoyed smile. I see the family resemblance now. Turns out, you've got a bit of piss and vinegar in you as well. And honestly, it's really fucking annoying. He rips Ruth's hand off his arm, sending her tumbling into her bed. Before she can make another attempt to stop him, the man picks up the group photo with a defiant smirk. Ruth knows when he spots her, because his entire body goes rigid, eyes snapping wide open like blinds on a window. He mouths a single word, and just like that, Ruth's suspicions are confirmed. She never knew what happened to him after news about Clarissa broke out. She didn't even recognize him at first because he'd grown so much and changed everything about himself. But now... I'm sure you don't remember me, Adam, but Adam's face goes stone cold, and the heat in the room drops 20 degrees, chilling Ruth to the bone. He grips the frame so hard, the wood sidings crack from pressure. Well, isn't this interesting? He looks down at her, and the hatred in his eyes is absolute. If he didn't want to kill her before, she's almost certain he does now. There's no reason he wouldn't at this point. They both know what she's done, the grief she caused, that all of them caused, and now her karma has returned tenfold. She's going to die, and she knows it. Ruth scrambles backwards to the bed, hitting the wall with a harsh thud, tears spilling onto her cheeks as he withdraws his knife, his eyes dead and merciless. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Adam cocks his head, his grip on the hilt white-knuckled, as if her words strike a nerve. No, you aren't. Oh, shit! Ruth releases a visceral scream as the steel descends on her, causing a murder of crows resting on her back, long to shoot up towards the graying skies. Damn. Park Bend, Arizona, 5:10 p.m. Briar's Bar. Monsoon season sure picks one hell of a time to pop off. Torrential rain pours down in heavy curtains, soaking through your t-shirt, pants, and the worst offender of all, your socks, as you make your way into Briar's Bar and Grill. Your stomach growls at the fresh, warm scent of food, and you crave both something to eat and a fresh change of clothes. But they'll have to wait until you get back to your aunt's trailer. Not to mention, cleaning the massive stack of dishes if you want any utensils. You're pretty sure something in that sink winked at you. Maybe you can sneak a purchase for some cheap rubber gloves from Dollar Street on your way back. A woman bustles past you and stomps on your foot as you try to make your way towards the waitress. Ah, God, that smarts! Did she just stab your big toe with a 4-inch pump on purpose? But the way she's smirking while texting on the phone sure says as much. The heck was that for? Oh, don't cut in line. She keeps her eyes glued to her phone, pecking at the keys with well-manicured nails. You scowl, resisting the urge to pull an Adam by chucking her phone into the fish tank sitting nearby. But the fish didn't do anything wrong. You instead turn away and head towards the front, tossing a brief explanation over your shoulder. Not that you owe her one. I'm just here to get my wallet. I'm not waiting for a table. She grabs your arm with a pinched expression, her powder pink nails sharp as knives as they dig into your wrist. You tremble as her hands and nails are overlaid with the memory of larger, more masculine hands, throbbing with veins, black nail polish replacing the pink as they circled your wrist. Your heart thunders in your chest, and I throw hands? I said, I'm fine. Hey, I said wait your turn! You look up at the woman, something dark unfurling inside of you as you snap under the weight of the memory. Her next words die on her lips as you stare her down. Her hands drop limply at her side. When you move towards her, she takes a wild step back and you realize she's not looking at your face. She's staring at your hip where the handle of the knife juts out. That makes a lot more sense. Well, it works well enough for you as long as she doesn't start complaining to staff. You don't really need the added trouble of getting hauled downtown. You've got enough to worry about. I'm not here to cause trouble, so how about you just leave me well alone? The woman nods, her eyes locked onto her butcher knife as she takes a step back. A few people behind her grow curious over the sudden drama and peer over her shoulder. Great. I love the scene she's causing. You need to hurry up and get the hell out of here. Ambling your way past a thick crowd of people waiting for their tables, you manage to catch one of the waitresses' attention while she's in between tables by tapping on her shoulder. Excuse me, but has anyone here found a wallet? The waitress jabs her thumb towards the bar, chewing loudly on her gum. Thomas mentioned something about finding one earlier. Go see him. Oh, thanks. She waves you off as she continues onto her next table, while you head towards a man dipped from head to toe in tattoo ink. As you approach, you overhear him making jokes with a middle-aged patron who pats at his potbelly. Jesse says dad bods are all the rage these days. The tattooed man, Thomas, chuckles as he pours the patron a drink and slides it over with well-practiced aim. You're not wrong, you know. I'm sure you'll find somebody who appreciates you for you. Just do yourself a solid and delete Winder. Huh, is that coming from personal experience? Heard it from friends, actually. Not really into the dating or hookup scene, so all my horror stories come from them. The patron nods in understanding. Here's to that. Winder is dog shit. Thomas chuckles again, but stops once you step up to the bar. He gives you a 1 silver. His brow wrinkles, lips pursing. Have I seen you before? Maybe from earlier? I accidentally left my wallet behind and heard you found one. Thomas snaps his fingers, finally placing you. Right, I was chasing after you, but you left in such a rush. Didn't manage to return it in time. The patron takes one large swig of his drink before he stands up from the bar and nods towards Thomas. He pushes a crisp $20 his way. Guess it's my cue. Thomas holds a finger up. You've had a few. Is Jesse on their way to pick you up? The patron rolls his eyes and waves Thomas off. Yeah, they're already parked outside. Thomas nods his approval, and the patron gives both you and Thomas a 2-finger salute before making his exit. Thomas pats the now empty space in front of him. Feel free to sit. Can I get you anything? Nah, that's okay. I just came to get my wallet. His lips curve into a good-natured smile. They want to chat with old Tom, eh? I'm a bit offended. You like him almost immediately. But you're also still in a hurry to get in and out just in case Adam somehow figures out you're here. I'm in a bit of a rush, but maybe next time? Pinky promise? He says it and actually sticks out his pinky. You laugh and God, it's been so long since you've laughed as you hook your pinky with his. It's a deal. Thomas grins all boyish sincerity before drawing away and wiping down another patron's glass. Glad to hear it. So, out of curiosity, did you and your boo make up? Your what now? My boo. You know, your man, your partner, your lover. Your mood shifts from soft, vibrant yellow, glowing and happy to an uncertain purple tinged with fear. What he says makes no sense. I don't... Came in here earlier looking for you. Said you two got into a fight and you ran off. Was really worried, you know? Afraid you got hurt or something. There's no doubt in my mind that man loves you. You scrunch your eyes closed as if it'll stop his words. There's only one man searching for you and he wants you dead. Adam. But how did he come in here without people noticing? He couldn't have, unless... Oh, that little shit! He disguised himself, didn't he? Oh, talk about being a chameleon, changing shape and personalities to suit his environment. You probably already know that, though. You give a non-committal smile. Something like that. Thomas accepts his answer, and he reaches into his back pocket. He frowns. Strange. You got busy earlier, so it kept your wallet on hand. Did I drop it by accident? He lost it? No, wait. If Adam was here, he probably managed to get his grubby little hands on your property somehow. Oh, damn it. This is exactly what you were worried about. He's going to use a blunder in order to figure out where you're staying. You don't know how, but your sixth sense is tingling. I'm sorry. I swear The phone behind him rings, and he holds up a finger, mouthing another apology before he answers. Hello, this is Thomas from Briar's Bar and Grill speaking. How may I help you? There is a pause, and Thomas rubs the back of his neck as he turns towards you, mouthing, Your, boyfriend's on the phone. He knows you're here. How? Is he calling from outside, waiting for you to come out wherever you are? He's attempting to turn this entire charade of his into a game. Thomas covers the receiver. You should really talk to him. Yeah, because talking will solve the bad blood going on between you and Avdom. He wants to impale you on the tail end of his knife. But Thomas doesn't know that. Fine, let me talk to him. You motion for the phone, and Thomas hands it over with a smile. Oh, this poor, sweet, naive man. Adam tricked him too, just like everyone else. Your words are cutting as you answer, wanting to get the first word in edgewise before you hear his stupid little voice. Hello, honey. You hear sniffling and the soft, quiet sobs of a woman. That's the last thing you expected. Hello? You can hear Adam speaking in the background to someone. When the crying woman speaks, horror floods you like a broken dam. That's... Help me. Aunt Ruth. He's got Aunt Ruth. You grip the receiver so tight you almost break it. Thomas mouths. Is everything okay? You wave him off, trying to appear more calm than you feel. How did he get to Ruth? How did he find her? How did he... Adam comes onto the line, unnervingly chipper. Hear that? She's begging for your help, and yet you're sitting pretty at a bar. How shameless. Let her go! There's more shuffling, and your poor aunt's sobs grow louder, and you hear her begging for Adam to put his knife away. You grind your teeth so hard you almost chip a molar. How dare he? Only I get to threaten Aunt Ruth! How dare he go for your family? When you get your hands on him, you'll go straight for the throat. You know, didn't think looking for you would lead me to this shit stain. As it turns out, maybe fate or destiny does exist. Who would have thought? I guess I'll have to reassess my belief. This is between me and you, you fucking asshole! Leave other people out of this! Touchy. You're getting all worked up, and here I am, being nice enough to put your dear aunt on the phone. I'd say I'm being quite generous, given the circumstances. What circumstances? Are you talking about stalking me to the ends of the earth? Because if I didn't know any better, I'd say you're a bit obsessed with me. Careful, Adam, or I'll start thinking you've got an unrequited crush. The words come out scathing, sharp as a kitchen knife hidden in your pants, and Adam goes silent on the other end. There's the sharp cry, and Adam responds with venom. Never suggest something like that again, and I'll start chopping off parts of her body. You bite your lip to keep from saying anything else. It's one thing if it's between you and him, but it's another when your aunt's involved. Hey, title drop. She may not be your favorite person, but you still don't want to see her hurt. What do you want from me, Adam? You know what I want. You hate him. God! You hate him. You wish a stray bolt of thunder would blast him out of this existence and isekai his sorry butt into a world of pain and suffering. Fine. Just leave Ruth out of this. Aren't you so brave? It's kinda cute the way you're puffing yourself up to be bigger when in reality, you're just a scared little kitten. Are you going to scratch me with those little claws of yours? He's baiting you. Anything you say will give him room to hurt Ruth, and knowing him, he'll blame it on your behavior rather than his own sadistic tendencies. You keep your mouth shut. What? Cat got your tongue? When you still don't answer, he turns mocking. Hello? Still there? If you don't answer within the next minute, I'll drill a hole in your beloved aunt's head. I don't get you. What was that? You're kind of quiet. I said, I don't get you! Your hand slams against the countertop, and Thomas jumps from where he's standing, halting the conversation between him and a new patron. Just lover's quarrel. Don't worry about it. You explain to the patron and Thomas, who stare at you with concern. Back to Adam. You lower your voice a few octaves. I didn't even go to the police. I've left you well enough alone. Why can't you return the damn favor? Because you're a stain on this world. Just like this aunt of yours. What do you even know about me? I've done nothing to you. I know enough. Now, I'd suggest you refrain yourself from throwing another tantrum. I'll make do on my promise. You do as I say. I'll let your aunt live. You mean live long enough for her to watch as you slit my throat? Adam chuckles darkly. Either way, she gets to live another minute. If you don't comply, I'll kill her here and now. Not to mention, I've got eyes on that bar. They'll track you wherever you go. Now, you'll be good and come back to me, won't you? You close your eyes, trying not to have a mental breakdown. You're trapped, like a rat in a cage. And if you even try telling Thomas to call for help, he's going to kill Aunt Ruth the second you open your mouth. There's only one available option. You have to face him again. Your literal worst nightmare. Fine. Where do you want to meet? Do I really need to spell it out for you? The trailer? Adam gives a slow clap, sarcasm dripping in his tone. Congratulations! You put 2 and 2 together! Now hurry up, or she'll play the consequences. Your aunt screams, and the line goes dead with you standing in place, trying to keep from hurling the tang of bile in the back of your throat, both strong and acidic. Your thoughts spiral out of control in a vicious tornado, tearing through the common sense and destroying your sanity by the minute. Adam resorted to using your family as a bargaining chip in order to get what he wants. He's got Aunt Ruth. He's got Aunt Ruth. And it's all your fault. Doesn't matter how you feel about her. This is your fight. Now she's been dragged into the middle of this sick and twisted game Adam's playing. You couldn't forgive yourself if she died because of you. You have to save her. You have to. The hand touches your shoulder, and you jump like you were shocked with a live wire. You whip around to find Thomas staring at you with growing concern. Everything okay? You seem agitated. Yeah, I just gotta get home. We got some stuff to sort out. You know, couple stuff and all that. You can hear the tremor in your voice, but Thomas doesn't seem to notice. He just nods sagely. I wish you best of luck. Fights of loved ones are hard, but they turn out okay, no matter the end result. He gives your shoulder a reassuring squeeze as if to emphasize this point. Yeah, thanks for the help and advice. You hope he's right. Because things are going to get dicey in the next half hour, and you really don't know if you're going to make it out of this alive. Outside, you find the storm amplified tenfold. Debris picks up and flies through the air. Trees bend and almost break at the force of the winds. The weather matches how you're feeling right now as you sprint across a parking lot to your car. To your left, you can see the headlights of a small reefer truck blasting your car with their windshield wipers whipping back and forth. When you get to the driver's seat and head straight for the highway, it pulls out after you and begins its pursuit. You try weaving in and out of pursuit, anything to shake them off, but no matter how hard you try, they always remain 2 tail lengths behind. It's not until the midway point that they start tailgating you. You assume this is what Adam meant when he said he had eyes on the bar. Whoever's in that car is his informant. The damn stalker. Did they call Adam as soon as he showed up? You're betting they did. How else would Adam know to call there? He knew what you were going to do before you did it. He's playing a game of chess. Now he's getting closer to winning this nasty game of his, thanks to his helper. Your eyes go back to the reefer truck. And as soon as you stop, you peer into your rear view mirror to see if you can sneak a peek at the driver. You catch a flash of familiar white hair. As if sensing your eyes on him, Adam's informant waves. Saffron. Oh, these 2 bastards! You're half tempted to go into reverse and ram your bumper into the grill of the truck, your hand hovering over the gear stick, fingers twitching at the idea. No, you can't. You wrench your hand away and force it back into the steering wheel. If anything goes down, you'll tell Adam. And then your aunt's blood will be on your hands. You need to stay compliant because now, there's more than one life at stake here. Yours and hers. You need to play things carefully. It's your best shot at making it out of this alive and without bringing any more harm to your family. You take a deep, shuddering breath. Stay calm. Stay collected. Try to stay safe. The rest of the drive feels long and torturous as you force down your hectic thoughts. Thunder booms in the skies while winds tug at your car and your heart thuds well over the speed limit. When you finally reach the trailer park, everyone's lights are off, either asleep or out drinking. You pull in front of your aunt's mobile home and step out as the reefer truck stops behind you. They keep their lights on, illuminating your way as you walk up the steps. You hesitate before knocking. There is a pause. Your breathing almost seems as loud as the rain. What awaits you behind this door? What have you come to find? With there's no response for over a minute, you almost consider knocking again. Then the locks start clicking. Click. He's in there. Click. Where will you run? Click. He's going to kill you this time. Click. Death is here. Your time is up. You test the doorknob as soon as you hear the last click. Inside, the lights are off. Glass crunches under the soles of your shoes, and with each step, you feel like you're suffocating. He's here. He's here in the same room, waiting, watching. You can feel his presence in the dark, lurking like a monster sizing up its prey. Why isn't he saying or doing anything? Usually he can't shut up because he loves hearing himself talk so much. At least from how he presented himself on that highway so long ago. You swallow the lump in your throat and dare to speak. I've done what you asked. I'm here. I'm the one you want. Now let my aunt go. You wait. Nothing but silence. You try peering through the darkness, searching for a silhouette, but everything blends together in odd shapes. You reach out for what you think could be him, but your hands land on the messy dishes from earlier. Maybe I should have cleaned that. Maybe I should have done that, but then again, I was in a bit of a hurry. Where the heck is he? Your hand goes to your hip, waiting for him to tackle you to the ground like he did last time. Adam? You take a step back, wondering how he's managed to conceal himself in such a small space. Maybe he's secretly a leprechaun. Is he going to springboard out from under the table like a toy jack-in-a-box? You wouldn't put it past him. You get ready to check under the table just in case and turn towards it. Something brushes your ankle and you yelp, taking a few steps back. Lightning flashes, allowing light to appear through the broken window. You realize that's where the glass came from. And as for what's near your ankles, you scream at the same time. Thunder booms in the sky, lightning illuminating the room once more. Your aunt lays motionless on the ground, with her body covered in blood that soaks through the brown carpet. And above her stands Adam. He holds onto one of her arms, while the other goes to scrub the streak of blood off of his face. He finally speaks. His words drip with poison, wrapped in velvet. Well, well, well. He steps over Ruth's body and drops her hand, his pace slow and dangerous, like a hunter on a prowl. You take a step back, but hit something in the process and tumble onto the floor. You stare up at Adam's wide frame in horror as he traces a hand along the curved edge of his knife. He then bends down to your level and tips your chin up with the point of his blade. His forever cruel smile returns as he continues. Looks like I finally found you, my elusive little pest.
That was chapter 2 of You and Him. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys do want to play this for yourselves, link to the game will be in the description below. We will be back with chapter 3 of this soon enough, and that will wrap up what we have played so far before we move on to chapter 4 of this, where we will start off with a whole new chapter, and I have no idea what's coming. I so far enjoy the rewrite. I think like there is more tension in this, a lot more drama, and God knows I love these two things. But anyway, hey, thank you all so much for watching. Hope you all have a lovely rest of the day, and as always, I'll be seeing you in the next video. This is Lion, signing off. Ciao.